Good afternoon, everybody. Let's call the meeting of the Fiscal Court to order. We changed our court meeting because of the death and the service of Mr. Russ Randall. Russ attended most of our court meetings, and I've noticed the last few sessions he had not been here. And I was told that he was sick. I was not told he was that bad. I don't know if it was sudden or if anybody...
It was the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Really.
So appreciate everybody bearing with us. Don't have anybody that has asked to appear before the court. However, I'll have my tourist commission executive director on board in a little while. Let's go through our correspondence real quick, if we could. Well, before, Sheriff, you wanted to take care of that one little issue,
yeah,
Sheriff Byers?
We've already did the approving the tax settlement, but Jennifer and Shane Porter with the state found where they had some money, they made mistakes. What they basically the state had owed me $500. Well, after they went through and she talked with him, they owe me a penny now. So we just need to reapprove the tax settlement after we made that little change.
All right. This is the Fiscal Court of Marshall County in compliance with the state requirements hereby approves the Marshall County Sheriff Kevin Byers settlement 2012 property tax for the tax year April 16, 2012 to April 15, 2013. They owe him 1 cent. It's my understanding the check is in the mail and will be deposited accordingly as soon as we get the check. Do I hear a motion?
Make the motion, Judge.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carried. Terry made the motion.
Thank y'all.
All right, move into correspondence. Dear Judge Miller, on July 31st, the property owners of Dogwood Place in Benton were aroused at 6:45 a.m. to the sound of equipment from Marshall County Road Department removing the swimming pool and trash from the house on the corner that had been vacated by the owners for 4 years. It was music to our ears. By 10 o'clock, the job was complete. We have been assured that the part of the abandoned lot that blocks the view of vehicles entering Searles Road from Dogwood Place will be mowed by the county department. We thank you for all the work you have put into resolving this issue since I contacted you a couple of years ago. Our thanks extends to Julie Connor of the Health Department for her efforts since April of this year. I was allowed to speak on July the 16th to the Marshall County Fiscal Court. They listened, and within 2 weeks, they not only found the solution, also completed the task. Our heartfelt thanks goes out to all of you for doing the jobs you were appointed or elected to do, the job of representing the people who live within your district and trying to help alleviate problems that affect the health, safety, not to mention trying to keep the investment of our property safe for the future. May God bless you all, Joe Orcutt, family, and neighbors. From General Edward Tanini, dear Judge Miller, thank you for your support for the Kentucky National Guard Memorial. This is to the Fiscal Court. Your contribution honors the commitment and sacrifices Kentucky National Guard members, past and present, and their families and communities who provide our soldiers and airmen the freedom to serve. Our National Guard is unique in that we come under the command of the governor and serve both our nation and the people of the Commonwealth. Tens of thousands of soldiers and airmen have served in the Kentucky Guard since March 19, 1912, when the state of Kentucky made an official name change from the Kentucky State Guard to the Kentucky National Guard. The memorial will be located at the entrance to the Boone National Guard Center in Frankfort. It creates a sacred space for families, friends, and citizens to reflect on and remember those who served. Those who perished in the line of duty will be enshrined in the memorial. We are currently researching 464 potential names for inclusion. The memorial is expected to cost an estimated $1.3 million to construct. Your contribution has made an impact to the Kentucky Guard Memorial Fund, a public charity 501c3 organization. So far, we have raised over $625,000. Please tell others about this opportunity to demonstrate their gratitude for those who have given everything. It's truly heartwarming to have your steadfast report. Yours truly, Edward W. Tanini, Major General, Adjutant General, Commonwealth of Kentucky. We received notice, and Mr. Ford, I'm sure you received this. I thought I saw Lloyd come in. Over at Calvert, the Kentucky Department of Environmental Protection, Division of Waste Management, in coordination with other parties, encouraged the public to comment on the proposed plan for cleanup for the former LWD Inc. site located at 2475 Industrial Parkway, Calvert City. The proposed plan presents the preferred alternative RA-1, which includes an engineered soil cover, groundwater monitoring, and provides a summary of investigations and evaluations, including the remedial investigation and human and ecological risk assessment. The engineered soil cover will be constructed over the location of the former drum storage building and surrounding areas for a total of approximately 5.5 acres. The engineered soil cover will be composed of a clay liner, a geotextile liner, and an 18-inch vegetative soil cover. Annual groundwater sampling along with operation and maintenance activities will be conducted once the soil cover has been constructed. The dates and the time, Thursday, September the 12th from 6:30 to 8 at the Marshall County Public Library, Calvert City Branch, at their meeting room, 23 Park Road, Calvert City. They invite everybody, anybody interested to attend. Did you get copies of that, Lloyd? How long have they been working on this? Do you know?
That's a question that you're going to answer by first saying which time. This is the incinerator site. And all the water is muddied up because LWD actually was preceded by a firm called Petrolite and some other operations that had similar operations there for many, many years prior to them. So it wasn't like LWD just sprouted out from nowhere. It was actually a company that was formed out of the bankruptcy of other companies. Okay. So I spoke with a man that's in charge of the project with EPA numerous times about it.
I have a letter that was dropped off at the office this morning, asked me to read this into the record for the minutes of the fiscal court. I didn't talk to him. Said I would like to address a statement made at the fiscal court meeting. It was stated, this was from Mr. C.D. Tynes, that I resigned due to the inability of Golden Kirk to perform his job. This statement was totally false. I resigned due to a conflict with employees at the animal shelter. My resignation had nothing to do with Mr. Kirk. I deeply have deep respect for Golden. If details of my resignation are needed, you can contact me. Please read and enter this letter into the minutes of the fiscal court. That's signed by C.D. Tynes. From The Attorney General, Jack Conway, the Attorney General's office has appointed Mr. Zach Greenwell, who is the Commonwealth Attorney in Crittenden County from Marion, to review allegations against Mike Miller. I don't know when he will begin his review or anything about it. We turned everything over to the Attorney General, which we were supposed to do, and he has assigned Mr. Zach Greenwell. Never met Mr. Greenwell, don't know anything about him, but I'm sure we will be hearing from him soon. Okay. Yes?
Isn't that what you offered to do before we spent $5,600?
Well, yeah, but that's,
No, that's not exactly correct. If you'd like a correct statement of that, I'll tell you what happened, and I've stated this before. I think you were here at that meeting. The court moved first to have a local attorney investigate, and that effort was thwarted. I won't go through the details of that. Secondly, we moved to have the Commonwealth's investigator, which was also local for Marshall County, look into this matter. Again, all confidential information was released that day to the media and appeared in the newspaper, tainting any sort of local investigation that we could have had. So we did try 2 different times to go local.
we did contact the Commonwealth Attorney, Jeff, or that's, and let me say the reason we don't have a county attorney here today. The prosecutorial conference is going on. Jeff and Jason are there. Mrs. Carter is in court. So if we have any legal questions, we'll have to hold them till, or try to get Jeff on the phone or whatever. But all of them are out of pocket. We've all received the minutes of the August 6 and August 13 meeting.
Approve the minutes, Judge.
Have approval? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Yes, sir.
Judge, I just wanted to inquire on the findings of the special attorney that we hired out of Louisville. Is he done now with his investigation? Is that completed?
Yes, he has given us his report. We read it into the record.
And what was the final cost for that?
$54.75.
$5,000 something dollars. I'm not sure. How much?
The last bill we received was $5,475. That was approved 2 court meetings ago, not the special meeting, the one before. And we have not received an additional bill as of today.
Do you expect to receive any additional bill?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, at the last meeting, we talked about the speed limit on Brooks Lane and other area roads. I think you guys looked at it.
Brooks Lane had already been posted.
Already been posted
The
for,
sign was just down.
oh, okay, so
So
we,
it was posted at 25 mile an hour, so we went ahead and cut a 25 back up. Now,
and that's what they asked for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
25?
Yep.
Okay. What other, was there other roads they wanted you to look at?
well, the other roads around there, I mean, some of them may not even be 300 or 400 foot long. I mean, you can't get much faster than 25 even if you tried. But I don't know if you want to post them or nobody else has asked for it.
Right, that's the only one. If y'all had any more requests?
I have.
I'm like Russell, I mean, as short as they are, I don't really see the need to post them.
Because you can't get up to speed.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If
Okay.
anybody does, that's another issue I need to look at.
Okay. All right. Well, that's taken care of then. Thank you. Okay. Expanded jurisdiction report. We've been talking about this. We appointed a committee. Tony, are you or Wendy going to talk about it? Y'all have had the first meeting. I know we're not there yet, but
We met on Thursday with the county attorney and Tony and Andy Levistow and myself. It's a much bigger process than we ever anticipated it being. We do not want to recreate the will necessarily. We don't want to have to come up with a whole new set of rules. Jeff is going to be in contact with Anderson County, who's very similar to us in size. I had gotten some information from them. And we may even go visit them in their department and get their forms and get all of their information before we put it all into play, because the state is somewhat helpful, but we're getting conflicting reports every time we call and ask a question. So we're just gonna go to another county and see if we can visit maybe their department and another department, and just kind of compare and
Squire
make our
Gold
own
would agree
rules.
with me. We sat in on this special meeting that we had with them. And the more questions we asked, more confused we got.
Yeah.
So you're right, it's very confusing. Do you think we might be able to have something for the court to look at, say, in October?
October is our timeline that we've kind of established for ourselves. We feel like by October we will have a better understanding. I've been emailing the state. We actually had the state on speakerphone when we were in our meeting on Thursday and asking questions and just trying to get it. We want it done right and correctly, so we don't have to make any amendments or anything like that. So we do think that the employee, it'll be a contract like Cat Spears is. When we do finally advertise for that position, I'm getting some answers from the state on exactly what that position, the requirements for that position would be, because every time we talk to them, we kind of get a different answer on that as well. So we were told that Cat could sign off on someone.
If it's someone he has confidence in now.
Right.
But at the same time, while that's going on, that person that we pick will have to be
Working
working
toward their
toward getting
certification.
certification. That is correct.
Yes, and I've had several inquiries about it. However, I have just kind of told them, once we post the position, because we will advertise the position, and then we will, I guess, bring the applications to you guys, or however you all want to do that. But
Okay.
we would like to do it, strictly by the state rules and standards.
All right.
It'd probably be good to have something by October, because if we have
Right.
to do any back and forth, it seemed like when we ended that meeting that probably by the end of the year really was kind of
Right,
at least a drop dead date, but that wasn't even.
We're
that wasn't
hoping-
He wasn't
certain.
even sure about that?
No, but he said 6 months, which would have been about the end of the year.
Yeah.
We're hoping maybe in October we can really have maybe start the application process and start the interviewing and have a plan, and then on January 1st, maybe everything take
Implement.
effect. That's kind of what our hopes are.
Okay.
But now, we did have a first reading, okay?
Yes.
Now, I don't know that we won't have to go back and have another first reading.
Of an amended.
Of an amended, because we wasn't sure about a lot of these things, still not sure. So probably in our defense, we probably just have to start the whole thing over again.
Well, as a kind of a little defense, there's not much defense to it, but
Yeah.
I think the county attorney would agree, he wrote up the ordinance, or whatever you want to call it, exactly like the state told him to do it, and submitted it, and they had changes.
Yeah,
Yes, the state attorney
The
did.
state attorney
Yeah,
had
back-
changes, even though he wrote it exactly like the state wanted him to write it. So that's where we've kind of been, and so it is very confusing, I think, to them as well.
we'll continue to work on that.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Wendy. Any other old business? All right, let's go into new business. As most of you know, Mr. John Rittenhouse was a member of our Tourism Commission representing the Restaurant Association. Is that correct, Randy? Yes. And John also was the park manager at Ken Lake State Park. He has since left that position, moved out of county, and is no longer eligible to serve. I would recommend Bertha Wilson. Bertha and her husband own the Brass Lantern Restaurant in Aurora. I think Bertha would make a very good board member. I've talked to Randy, that was his suggestion as well, to fill out the unexpired term of John Rittenhouse, and I believe that term ends at the end of this year, Randy, and then can reappoint or.
And the Kentucky Restaurant Association, since we don't have a local restaurant association.
Right.
They will submit 3 names for the court to
For
choose.
consideration, okay. So my recommendation is that we appoint Bertha Wilson.
Motion approved, Judge.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carries. I have, and I don't see Melissa here, so I guess I'll have to read it. She's on a call. This is a statement of affiliation for the Marshall County Rescue Squad. Rather lengthy, but I'll read it. Y'all just bear with me. Unless, Squire Anderson, would you like to read this?
I'll let you do that.
Okay. This is just something we have to do, okay? The purpose of this document is to establish and grant a local charter of authorization for the Marshall County Rescue Squad to operate in Marshall County and to outline responsibilities of the Marshall County Rescue Squad and the government of Marshall County. The Marshall County Rescue Squad is the officially recognized rescue squad in Marshall County. By virtue of order of the Marshall County Fiscal Court, the Marshall County Rescue Squad is officially affiliated with Marshall County Emergency Management as required by KRS 39F 120 Section 9. The Marshall County Rescue Squad shall serve the citizens of Marshall County by providing fully trained and equipped personnel who will take the lead role in the following types of missions: ground search, search for lost, missing, and/or overdue persons. 2, water rescue and recovery. 3, rescue, technical and/or urban. 4, weather spotting. 5, emergency power supply. And 6, recovery of a corpse if not accessible by ambulance if ordered by the coroner. And the Marshall County Rescue Squad will assist other agencies and departments upon request by responding, but not taking the lead role in the following type of missions: assistance to the ambulance service in inclement weather conditions in rough terrain, and assistance to the local fire departments when requested for support activities, and assistance to law enforcement officials for traffic control, evidence recovery, establishment of scene perimeter when requested, auto extrication, vehicle rescue, emergency evacuation and first aid, and hazmat spill containment at accident scenes, not to exceed the training level of the rescue squad members. And the Marshall County Rescue Squad will not respond to the following type of mission: attempting to locate a fugitive from justice, or attempting to locate an escaped prisoner, or attempting to locate an adult who has run away from home or other locations unless mental or medical conditions make it necessary for response, or attempting to locate a minor under the age of 18 who has run away from home or other locations and which has been determined by a police agency to be a law enforcement matter, or attempting to locate and/or recover evidence. The Marshall County Rescue Squad may be called to respond by any of the following service agencies: Marshall County Judge Executive, Marshall County Management Director or deputies, Marshall County or State SAR Coordinator, Marshall County 911 Dispatch, Region 1 Kentucky Emergency Management Response Manager, or the Kentucky Division of Emergency Management. Marshall County Central Dispatch will immediately page out the rescue squad on any incident when the rescue squad takes the lead role. If there is a question on the validity of the request, the Central Dispatch Center shall verify the request with the chief or assistant chief of the rescue squad. This affiliation does not influence the organizational bylaws, standard operating procedures, or other powers of the Marshall County Rescue Squad's incident command system except during a declared emergency. In all county declared states of emergencies, the Marshall County Rescue Squad operation under a department chain of command will fall under the direction and control of Marshall County Emergency Management Director and/or the Marshall County Judge Executive. The rescue squad shall maintain their equipment and property and shall be accountable for all equipment through an annual inventory submitted to the Director of the Marshall County Emergency Management. The Marshall County government shall be responsible for the fiscal responsibility for all funds donated to the squad by the county. The County Rescue Squad shall be responsible for all funds donated to the squad by outside resources. The treasurer of the Marshall County Rescue Squad shall assure all payments of outstanding debts in a timely manner. The Marshall County Rescue Squad shall not charge for their services. The Marshall County government shall provide official license plates and insurance for all rescue vehicles. The Marshall County government may appropriate a yearly allocation in the county budget to cover the cost of operational expenses by the Marshall County Rescue Squad. The responsibilities of all parties to this order of affiliation shall conform to those responsibilities as provided in KRS Chapter 39F. This order of affiliation may be modified, amended, or canceled upon the consent of the parties concerned. If a vacancy should occur in any of the positions on this order, the order will remain in effect for 30 days while the order is renegotiated. The effective date of this order of affiliation shall be dated below. It shall remain in effect for 1 year, at which time the order of affiliation shall be renewed. All other agreements or affiliations are null and void upon the effective date of this order. Don't ask me to read this again. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Today is the 20th, right?
Yes, sir.
Treasurer's report, no, animal shelter report. The animal shelter report, animals in the pen as of 6/30/13 was 64. Animals brought in by wardens, 41. Animals brought in by citizens, 58. Total animals, 99. Animals adopted, 89. Animals in foster care, 7. Animals reclaimed, 14. Animals euthanized, 11. Animals in the pen as of 7/31/2013, 56. Adoption fees, $1,647. Any questions on the animal shelter report? All right, Emily.
July 30th, the general fund had a book balance of $630,351.78. Road fund, $188,821.15. Jail fund, $176,776.97. Grant fund, $6,526.87. 911 fund, $127,511.30. Occupational tax administrator, $1,629,221.90. Veteran van fund, $2,150.53, for a total of all funds of $2,761,360.50.
Your report does not conform with mine. Did you give me a bad report, or is that?
I think it's hidden
It's hidden?
right here.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the bank
You
balance,
look at
not the
that.
book balance.
Yes, yes. I'm trying to trick you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Go ahead.
That's all. Just need
Is
a
that it?
motion
All
to
right,
approve.
need a motion to approve the treasurer's
Motion to
report.
approve the report.
Have a motion subject to audit. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. You've had an opportunity to review the bills. Do I hear a motion to pay the bills?
Motion to pay the bills,
We have
Judge.
a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. We do have the petition for Crooked Oak Loop. We had some folks come in and talk to us a month or two ago, wasn't it, Terry? And so we will appoint Russ and Josh and Bob Gifford to be our road viewers, take a look at this. Terry has the plat, is that right, Terry? The maps and everything?
You're right.
And there's the petition. Do you need that, or does Russell need this?
I do, we'll get a copy.
Okay, we'll get copies to Russell.
Take that.
So we can then report back at the next meeting, Russ, if we can. I know when Squire Anderson and I talked about this, the road is narrow, but it has been in existence, we think, for 15 years or more. We're not sure. We were just a little bit concerned of the narrowness of the road, but we do have other roads that are narrow as well. But
under the existing roads, it requires 40 feet and.
yeah, but that's what we're asking, though. It can be grandfathered since it was built. We'll need to look into that. Okay, we'll get with that. Josh, did you have something?
Yeah, Judge, I wanted to bring this before the court today because I know that, I don't know if y'all need to take any action or not. This morning I met with our Regional Community Economic Development Committee at the PAD office. One of the things, and I know that yourself and Bob are familiar with what we've tried to do with the foreign trade zone in the past and working with McCracken County Port Authority. They're moving forward with the application process. Now, the initial phase of this process is to get a determination from U.S. Customs as to whether or not we actually, in this region, can apply. So they're moving forward with that process, and what they need are letters of support from the judge executives in the counties. And this doesn't commit us to anything, Judge. It's just allowing us to, show Customs that we are supportive of this action. And then, Judge, our Port Authority looked at this. We could not figure out how this was going to work in the initial phase regionally with the technicalities of applying for the zone. So that will be determined at a later
Yeah, and one of the things that we were trying to decide, Bob, who was going to be the lead agency, who was going to be second. We all agree that a foreign trade zone does have advantages as far as economic development and trying to recruit industry and even the industries that we now have. So if there's no objection from the court, I would like to sign this letter of support on behalf of the fiscal court that we support McCracken County Port Authority in going forward trying to get this designation. Do we have a letter ready yet? Or?
I don't. I just got this morning, so I'll have to get something drafted up.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
But if I could get a motion to that effect to allow me to sign on behalf of fiscal court in support of McCracken County Port Authority pursuing a foreign trade zone.
I'd make that motion, Judge.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carried.
And Judge, once they've gone through this process and they decide to move forward with the application for the designation, at that time we can figure out what level we want to play in getting that foreign trade zone designation. Obviously, we want to. It's just, talking with the Port Authority and seeing how many acres of designation we want to need. So we'll revisit that.
All right, thank you, Josh.
Thanks.
Any other business come before the court? Yes, sir.
Sunday, Lucas Sun apparently ran an advertisement for a job listing for the Marshall County GIS office and to contact the Marshall County PVA office. I know I had several calls. Justin said he had several as well. But there was no such listing. We haven't listed anything with the Sun in about 2 years. So I don't know if this was an accident, if they reran an ad, or if they had the county name wrong. But just in case anybody got any questions, it was a mistake on the paper.
Imagine that. Okay. If no other business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm Darlene Lynn with the Red Cross, and as you know.
I was supposed to bring that up.
You
Darlene.
were.
I talked to the mayor this morning. I'm sorry. Please.
That's okay. You know that this spring, State Department came to us and said that they were going to move our building, destroy our building. We've been looking, and as of last night, went to the Benton City Council. They have a building for us, And what I'm here today to ask if the court would entertain the option to go ahead and finish paying the utilities that, since 1994, I'm guessing,
Well, we've
is when
been
they
paying the utilities all along.
have been since
For the Red
1994.
Cross. And what the city is going to revamp the building, fix it up, get it ready for them, allow them to use it rent-free, and want to know if we would continue with the utilities. I certainly don't have a problem with it. We've been doing it since ever. Red Cross does a wonderful job. They're all volunteers, and I think the least we can do is pay their utilities for them. There's no objection.
We budget for that, haven't we?
Well, we got it, yeah, we budgeted. But I would, let's get a motion because it will be a new, and I don't know when the move's gonna be.
I don't either.
If we can just say in a motion that we agree to continue paying the utilities for the Red Cross once they make the move to their new building.
I make that a motion,
We
Judge.
have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Let me give you a little update. We did talk, and I think y'all approved at a previous meeting, once Roger gets his new van in and we can clean the other van up, giving that to the American Legion with their burial detail, so that they can all ride together, put everything in there. And I think y'all agreed to that, did we not, at a prior meeting?
I don't remember it, but I don't have a problem with it.
Well, we talked about it. I don't know if we ever got a motion, but
I'm not sure.
Roger says in about 2 weeks, he'll have his new van in. I can't think of anything else. Brother Davis, you've been on burial detail many times, and it will be a,
Well, it'd be a big help to them, you know,
Yeah.
that way they save on gas and time.
Yeah.
They can assemble it and go to their
All-
ceremonies. It'd be a wonderful help.
yeah, all these guys are,
Well appreciated.
all these guys are volunteers. They do this of their own
Need a
time.
motion for that?
Yes, I
Make
would.
that a motion.
We have a motion. I get a second. That we
Second.
give that van to the American Legion. All in favor of Calvary City American Legion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. The motion carries. All right. Any other business?
Motion adjourned.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye. Means adjourned.